The BAU is back with another terrifying case in Criminal Minds, Evolution Season 19 Episode 6, Proxy, and this time, the team may be chasing a killer who isn't the one pulling the strings. A new threat emerges when a series of disturbing crimes reveals a chilling possibility: someone is using another person as a weapon. The UnSub may not want fame, attention, or recognition, they may only want control. As Prentiss, Rossi, and the BAU dig deeper, they realize this case is unlike anything they've faced before. Every clue points in a different direction, every suspect may be hiding something, and the person they're hunting could be closer than they think. But the biggest mystery remains: who is the real mastermind behind these crimes? In this breakdown, we'll explore the synopsis, preview clues, and the biggest theories surrounding Criminal Minds Season 19 Episode 6, Proxy. The BAU may be facing one of their most complicated profiles yet because this UnSub isn't following the usual pattern. Instead of stepping into the spotlight, this killer appears to operate from the shadows, manipulating another person to carry out their plan. The person committing the crimes may not be the true mastermind, but a carefully chosen pawn controlled through fear, loyalty, or psychological manipulation. For the BAU, this creates a dangerous puzzle. They must figure out whether they are chasing the actual killer or someone who has been pushed into becoming one. Prentiss and the team will likely focus on the emotional connection between the victims, the suspect, and the person pulling the strings. Because a criminal who uses a proxy doesn't just want to escape detection, they want to prove they can control someone completely. The deeper the team investigates, the clearer it becomes that this UnSub understands human behavior, and may even understand the BAU better than they realize. The question is no longer just, who committed the crime? The real question is, who convinced them to do it? In Criminal Minds, Evolution Season 19 Episode 6, Proxy, the BAU's biggest challenge may not simply be catching a dangerous criminal. It may be understanding the psychological game being played against them. This case forces the team into unfamiliar territory because the UnSub's method creates confusion between the victim, the suspect, and the person truly responsible. The BAU has always relied on profiling behavior, studying the crime scene, the victimology, and the patterns left behind. But what happens when the killer hides behind another person? The team may discover that the person committing the crimes has been influenced, manipulated, or psychologically controlled. This means every interview becomes more complicated. A suspect's confession may not tell the full story, and a victim's statement may contain hidden clues about the real mastermind. Prentiss will likely push the team to look beyond the obvious. Instead of focusing only on the physical evidence, they may need to study the emotional connections behind the crimes. Why was this person chosen? Why did they trust the person controlling them? And what weakness did the UnSub exploit? Rossi's experience as a profiler could become critical because someone capable of creating a proxy is likely patient, intelligent, and deeply aware of human behavior. This type of criminal doesn't act randomly, they plan, observe, and wait for the perfect opportunity. The BAU may also struggle with the moral side of the investigation. If they find the person carrying out the crimes, do they treat them only as a criminal? Or do they recognize that they may also be a victim? That decision could affect how the team approaches the entire case. Another major challenge is that the UnSub may be watching the investigation unfold. A manipulator who controls others might also try to control the BAU's actions, leaving false clues, creating distractions, and forcing the team to question their own conclusions. The danger is that every step closer to the truth could actually be part of the killer's plan. By the end of the investigation, the BAU may realize they were never chasing one person, they were trying to uncover an entire psychological chain of control. And the most terrifying possibility is that the person they think is the victim may have been chosen because they were willing to become the killer's perfect weapon. Even as the BAU faces a new and terrifying case in Criminal Minds, Evolution Season 19 Episode 6, Proxy, the impact of Voit continues to affect the team. The danger Voit created was never just about the crimes he committed. His greatest weapon was his ability to get inside people's minds, manipulate emotions, and force the BAU to question their own methods. That psychological damage may still influence how the team handles new threats. With a new UnSub who appears to operate through manipulation and control, the case may bring back uncomfortable memories of Voit's tactics. The BAU knows what it feels like to hunt someone who understands profiling, predicts their moves, and uses their own instincts against them. This creates a major challenge. The team cannot afford to become obsessed with finding patterns that are not there, but they also cannot ignore the possibility that they are dealing with another criminal who knows how to play the game. Prentiss especially may feel the pressure. As the leader of the BAU, she has to balance protecting her team while keeping them focused. After everything they experienced with Voit, another manipulative UnSub could test the team's trust and emotional stability. Rossi may also recognize similarities between past cases and the current investigation. A criminal who controls others often believes they are smarter than everyone around them. They see people as pieces on a chessboard, tools to move toward a final goal. That mindset is dangerously close to what made Voit such a difficult enemy. The question is whether this new UnSub is simply following a similar pattern, or whether they are connected to something much bigger. Could the BAU's experience with Voit actually help them solve this case? Or has Voit left behind a psychological weakness that future criminals can exploit? As the investigation continues, the team may realize that the hardest battles are not always against the killers they chase. Sometimes the biggest fight is against the scars those killers leave behind. In Criminal Minds, Evolution Season 19 Episode 6, Proxy, the investigation could become a major test for Emily Prentiss and David Rossi as they try to uncover a killer who may be hiding behind someone else. From the beginning, Prentiss is likely to recognize that this case is different. The evidence may point toward a suspect, but the behavior behind the crime suggests a much deeper level of planning. Instead of a typical UnSub who acts alone, the team may be dealing with someone who understands manipulation and uses another person to carry out their darkest intentions. Prentiss will have to lead the team through a complicated psychological maze. Her biggest concern will be figuring out the true motive. Is the person committing the crimes acting out of fear? Are they being controlled? Or have they willingly accepted their role? For Rossi, this case could bring back the kind of profiling challenge he has faced throughout his career. He knows that the most dangerous criminals are often not the ones who appear the most violent, they are the ones who can influence others without being noticed. Rossi may focus on the small details the UnSub leaves behind. The choice of victims. The timing of each crime. The emotional connection between the people involved. Because a criminal who works through a proxy needs a relationship with their target. They need trust, control, and a way to convince another person that their actions are justified. The investigation may force Prentiss and Rossi to question everything they see. The obvious suspect may only be the beginning. The person giving orders may be completely invisible. As the BAU digs deeper, they could discover that the UnSub has been planning this for a long time, carefully choosing the right person to manipulate and creating a situation where the truth becomes almost impossible to see. The most dangerous moment may come when the team realizes they are not just trying to identify a killer, they are trying to break the connection between a mastermind and the person they control. And if they fail, the UnSub could prove they were always several steps ahead of the BAU. Because in the world of Criminal Minds, the scariest criminals are not always the ones who attack first. They are the ones who stay hidden until everyone realizes the game has already begun. Season 19 Episode 6 could prove one thing: the BAU isn't just hunting killers anymore, they're fighting against minds that know exactly how to hunt them back. The biggest prediction is that the killer behind the case may not be the person committing the crimes. The title, Proxy, strongly suggests someone acting through another person. The BAU may initially arrest or suspect the wrong individual, only to discover they were following instructions from a hidden mastermind. The real danger could be someone who never touches the crime scene but controls every move from a distance. A major twist could involve the person everyone believes is being manipulated. The BAU may spend most of the episode trying to rescue someone from a dangerous influence, but the final reveal could show that this person understood more than they admitted. The UnSub may have created a perfect illusion: a victim everyone wants to save, a suspect everyone wants to blame, and a mastermind nobody notices. Emily Prentiss has faced some of the smartest criminals in the BAU's history. This case may challenge her leadership because the UnSub could be using psychological tactics that make the team doubt their instincts. Instead of asking, "Who is the killer?" Prentiss may realize they need to ask, "Who is controlling the entire situation?" Rossi's experience could become the key to solving the case. While the younger agents focus on the obvious evidence, Rossi may notice small behavioral details, the timing of the crimes, the relationship between suspects, the emotional triggers, the reason the victims were chosen. He may realize the UnSub isn't seeking chaos, they are creating a message. Even with a new case, the team is still dealing with the psychological impact of alias Voit. The season continues to connect the Bau'S investigations with Voit's influence and the dangerous attention his actions created. A new UnSub may see Voit as an inspiration or try to prove they are smarter than him. The Bau could find themselves fighting against another criminal who wants recognition for being the next great mastermind. The most dangerous criminals in criminal minds often understand the people hunting them. This UnSub could be watching the team, predicting their strategies, and leaving clues designed to manipulate their investigation. The Bau may realize they are not just chasing the killer is also studying them. The episode may end with the immediate case being solved, but a final clue could suggest something bigger is happening. A hidden message. An unknown connection. Or another person involved.